Today we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane to the past 5 years of this nerd fiesta with the best, the worst, and the cringiest parts of it. By the way, did you know 120.3% of people that watch my videos aren't even subscribed? So if you enjoy my content, please do subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And also, I've been spending the past 30 days, 8 hours a day watching old VODs to make this. So it would mean a lot if you did that, because it has caused me to go a bit bald. So thank you. Let me take you back to 2015. Gay marriage just became federally legal in the US. Mitch Jones is questing Temu. You're super pumped to see more gameplay from this cool game that was teased last year named No Man's Sky. And Soda Poppin' just lost another 5k on one hand in blackjack. This is also, of course, the first year of TwitchCon. Back when Twitch was first learning actually how to run a convention, and it was blessed with the name CringeCon. Not to mention that these VODs and highlights have been stuffed so far down the internet, I think Twitch has been trying to hide them for years now, but we can't let that happen. The event started out with DJ Wheat talking about himself for an hour, with the best thing to come from this was his $19.99 setup.
I had a nice stick mic that I bought from someplace for $10. It sounded like shit.
Could have name is Soy. Thank you, man. Welcome back.
Said shit at a recent TwitchCon, especially a host, I'm 99% sure that they'd rush him off the stage and fire them. We also learned that Twitch was supposed to be named Zarth, which, holy shit, thank God that they figured that out.
Yep. What the?
Then Emmett, Twitch CEO, got onto the stage and started talking like me trying to record a video.
Probably only slightly less copy-paste-erino here than online.
Good one. He went through some quality of life changes, a bunch of blah 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 about some other stuff that 90% of people still don't use to this day. And then Matt Morris and James Waugh were brought onto the stage from Blizzard to talk about the last X-Pack of StarCraft 2. Honestly, I got nothing bad to say about these guys, because I miss old Blizzard, and it was just a dev talking about their game. Actually, wait, just one thing. Matt, what the fuck did you do to Warcraft 3? Anyway, after this, a corporate lady came on from Telestream to throw some stats at us. She also showed us...
What was that?
After this, a corporate lady came on from Telestream to throw some stats at
1.5 million broadcasters, 11 million shows each month. What the fuck is a show? A stream?
At us. She also showed us a shitty version
Damn,
of
I think now it's over 10 million broadcasters a month.
Yes, that they came out with. After that, Intel showed us a jankier version of the NVIDIA broadcasting engine, along with some other nerdy stuff. Amazon Gaming was up next and followed the same suit of boring tech stuff, along with explaining the definition of community-driven game development. And then the now dead company, Studio Roquan, they showed us an early VR game. And this is when shit started getting a little bit more interesting, with Drop Frames up next.
Hello, Lamar. MJSHE, thank you for the 10 months, man. Welcome back. Dude, all those empty seats, though. What the fuck is going on?
Get on, motherfuckers!
After that interesting start, they actually had a pretty good podcast with one of the co-founders and COO of Twitch, Kevin Lin, at the time at least. Though I'm a nerd that likes hearing the backstories behind Twitch, so it may not be for everyone. Anyway, there was one last part of this segment that stood out to me. A question in the Q&A that felt almost like foreshadowing, leading to a sentence said by the legendary It's Me JP, almost like he had gone 5 years
Actually, it's It Me JP for some reason.
The future.
A lot of streamers focus on building a community on both Twitch and YouTube. And with one platform going to VODs and one platform going to live streaming, do you think we're going to see a lot of those people just commit to one platform? Yeah. And should they or shouldn't they?
I haven't seen too many people that have signed, like the big contracts haven't hit yet, and I don't know if those ever will. But I think you'll start seeing a lot of big names, locked in, and that'll be something that I don't think Twitch will celebrate, but I think YouTube will celebrate that. And they'll say like, hey, we just locked in whatever name you want for X years. And I think that's going to eventually happen. If they stay competitors and they keep rising to the top, people will eventually sign in super exclusive contracts and be locked in for 10 years. And it's just, that's kind of the nature of the business, and that's the nature of what will happen, I think.
Hello,
and after this, everything just went downhill. They fucking flipped the switch and went into Lightspeed, into the CringeCon name, with a rock band concert battle of the bands, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Hey!
Okay, you don't want to smoke, so ask for the chicken.
And that was just the first band. We still had 2 more to go through before we hit what this random YouTube video calls the worst rock band performance ever recorded.
Anthony Kongfan.
We then got an encore from, of course, the winning band, which... oh, they cut it short?
What is going on?
Turns out, unsurprisingly, in TwitchCon fashion,
what is
shit
it
went
about
left.
my face?
And
that
in
made
more
it look
unsurprising
like
news, shit went
I
further
care?
left when the roast of Spamfish was up next.
Is that Failfish?
It's great. All these guys have been walking up here with their little notebooks, you know, full of their hilarious jokes.
Thanks to Man vs. Game and his shitty Jim Carrey impression, most people actually clicked off the stream by this point. So if you didn't, then you were greeted with the final segment of day one, the Twitch concert. This was mostly 17 minutes of just pure what the fuck, featuring Approaching Nirvana, Big Giant Circles, Family Jewels, and apparently some guy named Will. Don't get me wrong though, there were some good parts in it.
That's cool.
It was just drowned out by moments like this.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
Hey,
1,
people are
2,
trying to
3,
dance
1,
here.
kappa, 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 1, 2, 3, 1.
That actually made it to the top of r/cringe. So after this, Rufio cosplayer Family Jewels started the finale, which went off on a great note.
This is so scuffed. Holy shit.
What's going on, CringeCon? TwitchCon!
Oh my god. I don't know if first TwitchCon was this
He
much of
actually
a
did a
shit
pretty
show.
good job aside from one slip up due to their shitty audio setup because TwitchCon. He also had a whole video looking back at that set from this year. That was a bit of an inspiration for me to make this video.
Exerno,
So, go look at
MJSHG.
that.
Thank you guys.
But that
Welcome
was
back.
pretty much the end of day one. Yeah, a lot happened. I also didn't even mention the other stages that existed because, to be honest, most of those were just boring panels on how to grow your stream or brand yourself, whatever.
Look at Swift Rage.
I also barely touched on the fact that they were having consistent issues with their stream, having lag and desync pretty much throughout the entire day. Okay, now day two. Not nearly as bad as day one from my memory, but I'm also rewatching all this as I'm writing the script, so I may be wrong because my memory's kind of dog shit. The day started out with an H1Z1
Bitcoin
tournament
pretty much at a
where
new
Young
all-time
Ninja
high.
and Grims actually made an appearance on stage. After this, Maya Night Live made an appearance, which, to be honest with you, I didn't even know what that was until I looked it up and found out that there was a whole wiki for it. Imagine Dream SMP because that's pretty much what I got from it. But anyway, the panel included Jericho, Captain Sparkles, and Firefox. And as you can expect, there was a slew of technical issues right from the start.
I was just told that the laptop was lost altogether. Oh dear.
What do you mean? It's right here. I have
It's
it.
right. I see.
The
We can
video
turn
is
it
lost.
around and be like, hey, here you go.
Yeah, you guys can all see that, right? Like if I just turn around the
Oh,
laptop.
no. Well, there goes
I'm
half of
sure.
our presentation.
There really wasn't too much to this panel aside from Jericho carrying most of it. DJ Wheat came back on and introduced Twitch Fight Night, which included VGCW, something that I'm glad that I wasn't alone in not knowing what the fuck it was.
Has anyone ever heard of VGCW before? All right.
Turns out it's Video Game Championship Wrestling. The quote-unquote fight was a battle royale between Man vs. Game, BC Warrior, aka Ezekiel III, Future Man Gaming, and Whitwix, with Kappa as the referee. Which, if you cared how it ended, Whitwix won.
Future Man
Which is,
Gaming. What happened to that guy?
Yeah. that's
Oh,
all I'm
look
gonna
at this
say on
guy.
that. Anyway, swiftly moving on.
Alex Hart
Mr. Wheat
says,
came back
hello
up to
everyone.
announce the next game, a battle between the corporate of Red Bull and Twitch in Smash to choose the next location of the Smash tournament. Red Bull got announced first, and I
Hi.
really didn't recognize anyone except for Rob Simpson, who's a classic StarCraft 2 caster. Then on the Twitch side, I actually recognized everyone, with Ludwig's boomer friend Atrioc taking the stage alongside the Crimson Blur, a Smash legend. Oh, and
Me!
yeah,
I don't know
BKB.
any of these
For
people
the
are.
commentary desk, we had another Smash legend Scar alongside the Clown D1. The match started, and honestly, the only thing I found funny about this was the first two matches were filmed like my first Modern Warfare 2 montage, and after a swift 2-0 from
Wait, this was the broadcast like this?
Twitch, thanks to Atrioc and the Crimson Blur, we got to see the final match in a decent resolution.
There you
Side
go.
note, yes, that is the words you're thinking it is, and I have to censor it for obvious reasons.
What?
How this made it onto the main stage, you may ask? My answer is I have no fucking clue. And if you think I'm lying, you can go back and look at the 5-year-old VOD yourself that's still on Twitch's official channel. Swiftly moving on again, the last part of the Twitch Fight Night panel consisted of a Hearthstone battle between Twitch CEO Emmett Shear against the Blizzard legend and ex-CEO Mike Morheim. After some
Twitch, dude.
quick trash talk that was obviously screened by an HR representative,
I wish you the best of luck too. You're going to need it.
They then welcomed the casters Crypt, Ray Noodle, and Frodan, all who, if you were around during the Hearthstone meta, you'll know that they're legends of the scene. And if you weren't, you know now. Though, to be honest, Reynad didn't really do much but introduce Trump as the stand-in coach, and then just sit there and look cute. Quick recap.
Some of the top streamers in 2015, right? 20 to 30k Andes, both of them.
As the stand-in coach, and then just sit there and look cute. Quick recap, game 1 went to Emmett, so Trump came out to give Mike a quick back massage for good luck, as all good coaches do. Luckily, Trump's golden touch was just enough for Mike to squeeze out game 2. Trump then came back out, and sadly for Emmett, he only received a pat on the shoulder. But it was just enough to get Emmett through game 3 to secure the victory, and most importantly, a hug from Trump. Then it was time for the second to last event of the day. The PJ Sultan finals between Future Man Gaming, Ezekiel III, Miss Vixen, and
This guy was like a scuffed Dr. Disrespect. Like his entire vibe and like the gig and everything. He dresses up and everything. It's a bit like...
it's fucking boring, dude. Bird, fucking falling asleep.
Shut up, you rub. It's kind of the same, except he never blew up.
The first game was Choice Chamber, which started off swimmingly as most things did in 2015 TwitchCon style.
Future Man.
No. Push stuff.
No.
My guy's moving without me.
Oh. Okay.
And even after being lifted to Ezekiel's position 3 times by crowd choice, Miss Vixen still couldn't.
Sorry for so much just chatting today, guys.
Round 2 was then between JP and Future Man. It was a bit of a closer match, with Future Man just barely taking the victory. Round 3 was then a loser's match between JP and Miss Vixen. JP was a bit behind up until he passed over the controller off to Future Man Gaming, which really didn't do much but caused Miss Vixen to start attacking them both.
The fuck?
Though this did buy him enough time to actually get lifted
ban
by
her!
the crowd to
ban her for a week.
Vixen's level, and after being neck and neck for a bit, he secured the victory for himself. After that, Vixen went on to try her best Gold Glove impression.
I fucking... Damn.
She then started fighting Ezekiel off the stage, which obviously was play fighting, but I just love that this kind of stuff would happen, because in current day TwitchCon, this wouldn't fly. Anyway, after this...
That is true. Remember when Knut and Mizkif wrestled, and Knut got permanently fucking kicked out of TwitchCon? Or was that why he got kicked out? I can't remember.
Asked what kind of game he'd like to see.
I think that was one of the offenses.
Which honestly is just a parkour map on Roblox. He then took to the stage after a quick stumble to show off his skills. Then it was the competitor's turn. And I'm pretty sure you don't want to see 3 grown men play Roblox in 2020.
Nope.
So I'm just going to go through this fast. Ezekiel went first, and after 5 long minutes made it to the 2nd checkpoint. Just to end there. Futureman then followed him and made it to the 4th.
We'll get through this.
JP finished off Ezekiel by hitting the 3rd checkpoint, which left us with the final 1v1 between Future Man and GP. The game of choice was DDR, aka Dance Dance Revolution, a real man's game. After an interesting appearance from the losers of the earlier match, Future Man went on to win the whole thing. Then came the Twitch Hall of Fame, or Twitch Awards as it was previously announced as. It consisted of DJ Wheat handing out awards, with the first one getting a long trainwreck style intro from this 5-head guy explaining the inner workings of linguistics, just to end up being the Kappa Award. Honestly, this was actually pretty cool, because it gave a random audience member a cool little plaque along with letting him have an acceptance speech, and he did better than any other I've heard from either the Oscars or
why
the
did he get the Kappa Award?
I would like to thank everyone involved in this excellent community event we call TwitchCon.
Wow.
Kappa, Kappa.
Perfect, man. It's all yours.
The next award was called Essential for Innovation on the platform, and this of course had to go to Twitch Plays Pokemon, which if you didn't know existed, the name pretty much explains
5 years now, chat. 5 years. Oh, I remember this so well. I still had a full-time job back then, but I would watch it at my desk. Don't tell my boss.
It was the first of its kind. The one thing I did learn is that the creator was inspired by SaltyBet, a site which allows you to gamble fake money on real matches and AI Mugen matches, which is just an old-ass fighting game engine.
Where's Tridance?
After this, the VP of Strategy nearly took out Weed on his way off the stage, and then went on to announce the Lifetime Achievement Award, which went to Lethal Frag. Many may not know who this is, but Lethal was a bunny.
Oh, I know who this guy is. It's the guy who like gave up his job and everything and just streamed every day for what, 2 years? 1 year?
Streamer that embarked on a 730-day challenge to stream every day back in 2012, and he was a legend in the community for quite a while because of it. DJ Wheat then came back up to close out the event, and that was the end of 2015
He streamed every day for 2 years.
Though before we move on to 2016, I do have a few other things that happened during this event that I can't really pinpoint the exact time frame of. So I just want to throw them here at the end. Starting off, we had Blue Yeti that had this displayed at their booth, and then they went on to apologize within a day for it. Forsen asked what color her butthole is. Then he went on to Hoverhand Blondie Wandy, who was actually Skype call streaming the event, which I didn't even remember her doing this.
Social
and I couldn't find any more footage from it. So the amount of different vlogs from the event were overwhelming, and the content was sadly mostly underwhelming. Soda Popping got blackout drunk for most of TwitchCon, which isn't really news today considering that this seems to happen every time Chance goes to an event. The now banned Deadmau5 made an appearance at the event.
Wait, didn't he get unbanned? And then he got banned again, or what was it?
I had a weird ass interview thanks to this guy that looked like he just found him outside and forced an interview on him. He then went on to perform at the after party at the event alongside Darude. 2016. This is where shit just hit the fan
Nothing again. Hello. Test.
Content wise, because there are so many different panels and stages and things going on all at once that it'd be another hour-long video for each year after this if I did a coverage of everything that happened. So I may skip over a few little parts if nothing really interesting happens during it. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. The event started off with the legend Piano Impro Man, which, if you didn't know, got his start on Twitch thanks to the affiliate Mitch Jones. After this said snazzy intro, they welcomed on DJ Wheat, who pretty much just repeated his speech from last year as per most TwitchCons, and then invited Emmett onto the stage. He went on to throw some numbers at us to show how much time we've wasted on this site, and then displayed the new top releases of Twitch this year.
Oh, this is fun though. Look, 2016, most watched new releases. Overwatch, WoW Legion, Destiny Rise of Iron, Tom Clancy's The Division, H1Z1, King of the Kill. I remember when this was like a very, very big title that a lot of people played. Arma 3, The Culling, I never played this game, No Man's Sky, Clash Royale, and Stardew Valley.
After this, he shows a list of the top 10 emotes for the past year.
Wait, go back. Fuck.
After this, he shows a list of the top 10
Failfish? Oh, this is number 10. Kappa Pride, Woodface, Kipo, Dance Game, Bible Thumb Forehead, Craig Ass and Pogjamp, and
emotes for the past year.
Kappa.
This is actually a pretty hot topic of the keynote because the majority of people believe
why was Tryhard not shown?
It was rigged. Most of whom were part of ICE's rising Fnatic fanbase, and yes, I did look at most of the users commenting on it and did a deep dive on their post history.
Holy shit, this
Most
guy
were commenting on threads about ICE. This controversy was thanks to a few sites that showed general emote stats, and there you'll see that Tryhard was within the top 10. Though in the same thread, there were several Twitch staff that denied it was rigged, one of these employees being Atrioc, believe it or not. They all confirmed that these sites didn't have the full stats of every stream.
He's number 1 now,
and that
though, right?
Tryhard was ranked somewhere in the category of 14th under Baby Rage and Seems Good.
This guy goes, no
After
game,
this, they then showed
bye.
some stats on the new features, Twitch
Playing Dark
Friends
Souls
and
soon,
Cheering, both of which had been added earlier this year, along with auto hosts, new UI, and some other blah blah blah.
Wait. That was my Reddit? Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Was that your post?
Got to the announcements. First of which was Twitch's acquisition of Curse. Most of you probably don't know what Curse is, but originally it was a site that mainstreamed WoW add-ons.
Bro.
They also had a program in helping doing so that is now the Twitch app.
The Twitch app for installing WoW add-ons is so trash. I don't know how to find categories in it. I don't even know if you can.
Yes, transcodes. The thing that lets you change the quality. It took them till 2016 to do this. It was previously only really available to those with partnerships, but as of this TwitchCon, it became available at all. There was also loyalty badges, aka that little changing sub badge next to your name in chat, and then he went over some stats of the new clip feature. Quick note for those that are unaware, before Twitch clips, there were two sites that handled clips, Oddshot and LiveCap. Both that essentially were just Twitch clips, but as Twitch does, they yoinked the idea and made it their own.
I've talked about this, but if this never happened, if all of the clips were hosted on a different website, then streamers would not have to worry about DMCA claims. But then Oddshot would have had to worry instead. But maybe they would have been below the radar, you know? These all died the moment Twitch clips came. And then we all got fucked by Twitch clips. Check Forsen tweet. Check. Look at this guy. What tweet?
Twitch does. They yoinked the idea and made it their own. After this, he talked about some community shit and then came up with the biggest announcement of them all. Twitch Prime. With all the beautiful original features. After this, he brought on the art director of Blizzard to tell us a shitty joke.
Well, this is the first time I think in Hearthstone that I can look out and say there's absolutely not room for one more. This is a packed hall.
And then he went further into the game loot aspect of Prime, showing off the new hero that was only available through it. And that was the end of the opening keynote. This led us to the finale of Mario Maker Mondays, where, to be honest, nothing really happened there.
I punch kids.
Then after a short intermission with some marbles, it was time for the talent show, which, if you've learned anything about TwitchCon so far, it can only go one way. Day 9 and a lady wearing a shower curtain open at the talent show, and after this, some more typical...
Wait, what? No, I know who this is, actually. This is Anna Prosser. StarCraft frogs will know who this is. She was like Miss whatever state. She married In Control.
Technical issues happened.
Let's get a little bit of a preview right now.
She's from the StarCraft era.
This is where we're going to be a bit of a skipping Andy, because to be honest, some of these were pretty boring. Scene of Action did his music thing he does. Brian Lee? Well, whatever her name is. She did some improv dance thing as the Coomers rushed to the chat in waves. She also hit a front flip, was actually pretty PogChamp. A Hotify was actually pretty fucking cool.
Hey! Hey!
Crowding Out hit us with some solid soft boy jams.
Hi.
8-Bit Ballroom gave your grandfather flashbacks of the war. Jeff Leach, aka Scuff David Gruel, did some stand-up comedy.
Wait,
Sadly,
this is the guy who's good friends with Reynad, right?
Oh, day 9, hey.
Frog 3 did a sick PS2 boot screen rendition.
Whoa! That's crazy.
Aditi Dance Design did some belly dancing. And this guy was also there. This group had a lot of static and technical issues, and I'm not going to try to pronounce their names because I know I'm just going to fuck it up. Coup Theater came out and 1v1'd. Sloppy Tex and Lexaloticus came out and did a 2-man band thing. It was alright. And lastly was Jason Parody, a guy that looks like you'd see him performing in a New York subway, came out and ripped... shredded? What do you call it when someone does really well on accordion? Well, he did that.
Hello, Ace of Flace.
After this was the final segment of the day, the Roast of DJ Wheat. And you already know from last year this can only go well.
Smeggy, they've got t-shirts and shit that they're selling. Sounds like killing animals on Twitch or something. Like, is there a category for that? Schmeggy, if there, it should be called Schmeggy.
Yeah, well, after a few shitty jokes from the cast, the stream bugged out in true TwitchCon style when it was Anna's turn. I'm just gonna do a quick compilation of the best and so bad it's good jokes, because this was like an 1.5 hour long segment with most of it being flat jokes and the stream disconnecting.
We often kind of mimic our pets after a while. If you own a cat or a dog or, you know, any sort of animal. Like
this is OMG Scoots! That's him! In the flesh!
These jokes of like, oh, they start looking like each other, they start acting like each other. And yeah, I have an old crabby cat who's got 3 legs.
Fun fact!
So, she's got a little rat dog, I don't even know, that has missing half its hair.
Oh, this is actually In Control. This guy, if you don't know, this guy passed away.
Is anxiety-ridden and is constantly seeking attention. That's it. That's all I got for her. Okay.
I'm so happy to be up here, but Marcus had to go take a dump or something, so this is kind of awkward. But you know what? Since this isn't against the TOS violation, I'm gonna drink some mouthwash because why not? You can still get drunk off of this. Ah, it tastes weird. I'm really excited to be up here. Hey, DP.
What the fuck is
There's
this?
People. That's weird, right? Especially for you. You don't see that too often, do you?
I swear to God, his game face really scares me. It strikes the same kind of fear and horror that you might experience if you just lost $3,000 to Phantom Lord and CSGO Lotto.
Oof. And that was the end of day 1, but that was just the main stage. And if you know TwitchCon 2016, this is when they started adding like 4 stages, with most of them being boring panels and of course
Roger
along with
Markiplier,
some
that's
really
what I thought
shitty
too.
streams that are just unusable. IRL streaming also became more widespread. Well, we had Ice Poseidon, so we had a man out there in the wild of TwitchCon, even if the quality did look like this most of the time. And that was day 1 from Ice. It was about as full of content as panels from the other stages, so time for day 2. Day 2 on the main stage
Damn,
started
different
simple
times.
with a panel from the original Justin TV crew that made its way to Twitch. During this panel, Man vs. Game said a very interesting line that is kind of ominous considering the current situation with DMCA Twitch is in.
I think we're going to see the government push that bill through Congress that's finally going to kill streaming any copyrighted content. The bubble's going to burst and the whole thing's going to go tits up. So it's been fun. Let's enjoy it while it lasts, folks.
Damn.
This is when shit started ramping up again with a panel up next named only Ricky Kalman.
Ricky Kalman is a motivational speaker, celebrity hypnotist, and TV personality.
Ah yes, a hypnotist at a nerd convention. I'm sure this can only go well.
Hey, how are you?
Wait, I think I remember this. P-Wop, what's up, dude?
You guys got to do a lot better than that. I want to hear you. All right.
Oh, this was
After
good.
This great start. He started doing some weird shit up until everyone fell asleep. Well, not just that, but this lady took a stand.
If you've never experienced hypnosis before, I really hope then today you... So awkward.
If you didn't see, she was one of the previous ones on stage, so after that guy got rolled, it was time to move on to Drop Frames. You remember the
Wait,
same
what did she say? She was what?
Podcast that last year had this start.
Let's get it done! Woo! Fuck yeah! Woo!
Not to ever let him come back.
For Carnage.
Oh wait, that was this year's entrance. Honestly though, I gotta give Zeke some credit because
Yo,
at least he kept the
fuck!
same energy levels from his entrance from last year. Then JP threw some socks into the crowd and it was a pretty generic podcast after this with Day 9 as the special guest and a random appearance from a Twitch staff. Which meant it was time now for the PJ Sultan East vs West. And I'll just let DJ Wait and Nana explain it.
We want to explain a little bit about how East versus West works. So the East team obviously qualified
West
at
side.
PAX East. West team qualified at PAX West.
Pretty simple.
Thank you,
But
good guy,
before
Epic.
they started, Proton John did his best Trainwrecks impression.
Todd John!
It was me all along.
And Zeke did what he does. Cool little side note before we get started. If we direct our eyes over to the chat, we see both a rare golden kappa and an OG account by the name of Sexy, which in true Twitch fashion, Sexy was banned somewhere between 2016 and now.
No.
So F's for Sexy. So anyway, back to this. The format was set up so that they picked from a pool of games and would 1v1 in it, with the loser being eliminated. So let's just get to the first one, which was Duck Game, picked by Team West. Fast forward, yay, East won. Okay, next game. Nidhogg
Who is
Clear,
that?
which
Was that Bless RNG?
was picked by Who Actually Cares, because I'm 90% sure it was a sponsor, since they couldn't stop bringing up this game the whole goddamn panel. Alright, fast forward
chat.
again, and yay, East won, yay. This is about an hour and a half panel, so next game.
Giraffe volleyball
Yeah, it is.
champion.
Fast forward. Yay, West won a game. Woo! Next game, Western Press, and fast forward. Wow, she's getting rolled. Anyway, yay, East won again. Now time for the next panel, the cosplay contest, which I mean, it's just a cosplay contest. What's the worst that can happen?
Our next judge is Giant Waffle.
Oh shit.
Ah, shit, I forgot he was the judge in this. Okay, well, let's get to the best ones of the night. Ooh, People Pog, wow. Ooh. And the winner is, I mean, this guy, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Sick.
look how cool that thing looks. And, oh, there goes his shoulder.
Meanwhile,
On Ice Poseidon stream.
You are
Uh-oh.
tall. Let's see. Let's get this. Let's see. I mean,
Wait,
6'1".
what? Wait, I had no idea he met Shaq.
7'1", dude.
Yeah, Ice met Mr. Shaq Fu himself. Nothing really happened though on Ice's stream the rest of this day. I think he talked to Destiny for a bit, but Mr. Shaq did make an appearance at TwitchCon for our next event, the Bud Light All-Star Bash, with streamers such as Ninja, Dyrus, a cardboard cutout of Amaz, M Omegalol E, along with celebrities such as the previously named Shaq, Greg Jennings, Ron Funches, and my personal favorite, the man that can play games with no hands,
Oh, he
Snoop Doggy
invested in
Dogg.
NRG, yeah.
The event was split up into 3 rounds, a different game for each, with the first round being Gang Beast, the second round being Rocket League, and the third one being Move or Die. At the end of each of these rounds, the losing team would be eliminated, and so on and so forth. Again, pretty simple.
Out of
Round 1 started
pocket.
off with just the streamers first, and I'm pretty sure they had no
Dyrus!
idea what was going on for the first 2 matches because they just kept jumping off the side. Meanwhile, Shaq came in with some insightful commentary.
I love you.
I love you too. Do you think you can play this game?
I'm the best gamer ever.
Second round.
Just press button.
With the encouraging words of just press a button from Shaq, Dyrus did so, with some assistance, and won both matches to take the first part of round 1. Then it was time for the celebs to take on Gang Beasts. Honestly, it was just a clusterfuck of no one knowing what was going on. Similar to the first matches, but just less raw gamer brain, so they had a bit harder.
This is such a bad game to pick for like an event like this.
It's just like me in World of Warcraft without my guild to carry me. I don't know what to do.
Good one.
And in the end, Snoop won by just standing there and letting the rest of them just die, which honestly wasn't too bad of a strategy. With that, Team Amaz was cut, and it was time for round 2, but not before a quick shout out to the legend TJT, who of course made an appearance in the chat quite a bit, as well as Shaco, who made this a little bit later on. Anyway,
he wrote
on to round 2.
CX.
The format was 3v3 Rocket League. This was because for some reason they let a fan from the crowd each have a spot on the team. So the first match was between Team Zuna Orange versus Team Ninja Blue. Though after Ninja's team started getting stomped, Snoop decided just to say fuck it.
So upset.
Bullshit. Fuck that. How y'all gonna make this the motherfucking qualifying game? Straight bullshit. The game I got good at, then y'all changed this shit up in the second round. This is straight bullshit. Fuck this game.
After Ninja and Snoop were eliminated, but thanks to Ninja not having a PR manager prior to 2018, we were left with this gym.
What's it like to have this guy standing next to you today? Oh, it smells incredible. I mean, it feels incredible. Does smell good.
Hey, that's a really good one.
Then it was time for the next match between Team Dyrone and... fuck, I forgot the other guy's name. Well, spoilers, it doesn't matter, because in the end, Dyrus and Shaq took the match thanks to their sleeper cell viewer who was just 1v3ing the other team the whole time.
Damn.
After another empowering victory speech from Shaq,
Did you do it?
Are you not entertained?
it was time for the final, but not before Shaq got to do another victory song.
Na 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 na. Hey, hey, goodbye.
Goodbye, I mean. Not good night.
One more quick note, is it that hard to find decent hosts for these kind of events? Like, I understand you have to be family friendly, but Jesus, these guys are killing me with their shitty comments and retorts just throughout the whole thing. Nevertheless, moving on to the final match, Move or Die between Team Dyrone and Zuna. Honestly, it just wasn't very exciting, similar to the previous matches, so...
I don't even know if they know they just won. Give it up for Shaq and Dyrus.
After their quick victory dance, Shaq went on to finish his victory song with a feature from Dyrus.
This lady looks so confused.
We are the champions, my friends. And we keep on diving to the end.
And that was the end of day 2. Day 2 started off with a Square Enix presentation led by the model for Kappa Ross. It was pretty much an hour-long ad, and since we're dealing with enough of those on Twitch right now,
I'll shout you out after
this
video. Thank you.
To the next panel, H1Z1 Invitational. Another 2-hour panel, so we're just gonna skip through some highlights and the winner, even though that's pretty much what this video is based on. Anyway.
Summit's not in a good spot right now.
This is the one where Soda Poppin killed the doc, right?
Still not out. He pulls out the fist. He goes for the fist. Summit is the first one down in the 2016 Invitational. Dr. Disrespect is out, everybody. And completely naked.
Game 1 was taken by Radic.
You gotta be fucking shitting me!
I tried looking up, and all I could find was that he won a $20 tournament in Dota last year, so congrats to him. Alright, next game. But not before a quick intermission from Scam OG dabbing on the kids that he stole money from in CSGO.
Oh, huge for Soda. No. Lyric's got his head on a swivel though. Soda pops out, takes the shots, misses the first few. Lyric not able to connect either.
This was such a fun thing though. This was such a cool thing. They got so many streamers to play VR on the same map like this. Like what we have now is nowhere close to fucking Fall Guys against a public lobby and bullshit like that.
That was unexpected. This battlefield's getting smaller and smaller here. Getting the kill, Soda! No!
This was some really good Twitch events.
About 300% better than he did in any other game. Look at this. Right everyone has bought a house. They are now investing in real estate. Like they're just hanging. Look at this. You got that Twitch TV streamer money. Everybody's bought a Everyone's bought a house.
And then Inboxes won the tournament, who's actually still playing H1Z1.
I remember Trump would drop and run to the edge
their victory, both
of the map.
And
That was
made
the
their way to the stage for a winner's interview with a pre-Drake Money nade shot and CSGO veteran Jimmy Weisenhunt. Radic then went on to get within kissing distance of nade shot while trying to get picked up on the mic, even though he had one in his hand. So yeah, next event. The PJ Sultan Finals, where the theme this time was
Why
arcade
is 4
game.
house removed? Because you only ever use it for one single purpose. When someone mentions house. All right, it just there are more useful emotes to add. Okay.
With these guys, Remember, they won earlier just to
just type a regular forehead instead.
So we can get to the good stuff. The first match was MotoGP between Zeke
so we
and
can't
iCasper,
have an emote for
which
every
honestly,
single meme and word.
And now I realize why, because he got accused of sexual
Alright, fine. We'll remove people happy then. And add Forehouse. Are you happy?
harassment, and then deleted everything off the internet that was tied to him. But he did win the first match.
Fuck, man. Now I kind of skipped this part. Let's go back.
For this real quick, so we can get to the good stuff. The first match was MotoGP between Zeke and iCasper, which honestly I couldn't find any info on him at all. And now I realize why, because he got accused of sexual harassment and then deleted everything off the internet that was tied to him. Damn. But he did win the first match after Zeke finally stopped punching his own dick. Then the next was Proton John and D Yoshi, aka Bless RNG, aka the guy that got his emote removed and banned on Twitch for abusing his girlfriend. Yeah, Twitch is really good at picking people.
Wait, I thought he stalked someone. I thought he just stalked someone a bunch and like harassed them.
Fucked up at all. Luckily, Proton John won, and then it was the losers match between Zeke and Bless. Bless brought it back to win this one.
Both are bad, yeah,
Zeke
yeah.
Looking like the chick from Lazy Town if she got jumped. Then it was time for a 1v1v1.
Dude, I gotta pee.
Between the three remaining
No, I didn't mean to say just.
I
didn't mean to say just like that.
Pinball is a game where you gotta score as many points as you can without the ball crossing the two bumpers at the bottom, which, as you can imagine, is a very high-intensity game. The loser of this was iCasper, who got eliminated and brought us to our final match between Proton John and Bless. The game they were playing was the K-Kona Classic Big Buck Hunter. Before they started, they brought out a professional Big Buck champion, which I didn't even know that was a thing, or they had an esports circuit, so I learned something new. She was accompanied by her husband, who, honestly, I'm just gonna say it, he looks like a thicker Forrest Gump after he ran 15,000 miles. So the first match was between the Pro and Proton John, and obviously the Pro wiped the floor with him and then did the same thing in the next match versus Bless. But that didn't matter because in the end they just 1v1, and the winner was Bless RNG. Okay, next panel, the roast of Miss Vixen. As you learned from earlier this year and last year, these always go super well. And that was the roast of Miss Vixen, which leaves us with the last panel of the day, Twitch Yearly, which was less like an award show this time and more like a look back on the year. After a quick intro from Scene of Action with some major technical difficulties, they went over Twitch Creative, which was added this year along with some upcoming creators, some of whom you may recognize.
Oh shit.
Also, another side note, it's funny as hell to see no one care about Doc in the chat. His video only got the reaction from this one guy and some ha-has. After this, General Mittens did a speech.
I remember at the start of his career or whatever, when everyone would just put haha in the chat when they saw him. Like, oh, it's this role player.
My name is General Mittens and I am definitely a cat.
And it was time for some wholesome moments with the gamer outreach section, going over some of the great things the community has done to give back. After this, a speaker from St. Jude came out and gave a speech about how partnerships with Twitch began. Then it was time for the top 5 clips of the year. But not before a pre-reformed Tyler 1 would make an appearance in the chat to call out the shitty segues. That was the end of day 3 on that stage. Then there was the TwitchCon after party that really didn't have anything too special to it, but some sets from Steve Aoki and Darude. But it also happened to be the day that Ice had his best day of streaming. Well, our streaming of this entire event. A dinner stream with T1 and Trihex, where we got this beautiful picture, but not before a great cameo.
Stop showing this guy.
You guys who the fuck we just ran into. Hello.
Oh, shit, what up?
Aww. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that?
Now realize that this was 2016 IRL streaming quality, so the 20 pixel resolution was actually really good quality for him, believe it or not. After getting into the restaurant, Ice burned his food as he always does, and some good moments were had throughout the night.
Tyler's always getting lost, dude.
Name one time I lost.
I'm scared of watching this.
You got here.
I went to the hotel. You guys slipped past me.
Yeah.
Damn, he looks a lot younger here.
I called you and
I'm just joking around, dude. Like your voice, like the thing you do.
Dad, am I gonna get in trouble for all of this?
You're yeah, the fucking arm thing you do, like you do all this shit. Like, what the Tyler?
What?
He says I sound raspy on stream. Is that true?
Like horse? Like
yeah.
I'm gonna skip. If you guys want to check this out by yourself, you can. This is a bit concerning.
Compared to last year from a multitude of creators, but nothing too special happened in those.
You can watch it for yourself. Here, I'll link you at the time. It's just before this timestamp if you want to see it for yourself.
Now it's time to get through the stuff that happened throughout the event that I don't really know which days they occurred on. Starting off, we had the dude that broke 20 plus copies of No Man's Sky. T1 and a fan had a sumo fight. There was also the TwitchCon esports stage that I would have went through earlier, but all the VODs were deleted from this year. I do, however, remember there being an old school RuneScape Deadman mode tournament where if you were part
of me for not wanting to get banned, right?
Community, you'll know that Wooks.
You show dog in person though. I feel like Ice Poseidon is the worst one though when it comes to like as little as Twitch wants to have to do with him, or whatever.
With his unique tactic of surviving the fog, as well as an Overwatch tournament where Tin the Tat Man threw and a host got dono walled.
How are you feeling after that win?
This was also the year Pyrocynical made a video covering the event.
Did she ask her that while the girl is like still playing and competing?
Well, the cringy parts of it.
Oh, bro, that's so cringe. Whoa.
And that's the end of part 1. I would have added 2017 on this video, but it would have made it an hour long, considering that 2017 just has an abundance of content and a bunch of different IRL backpacks going around. Same thing with 2018.
Excuse me,
so I'm just going to separate into 3 different videos. And I'm going to try and trim off some of the panels for the later TwitchCons, because those as much aren't really the content. It's mainly the IRL section that just carried TwitchCon from
that was good
2017 on.
Does anyone unusual? No, we got to get some fucking gameplay in here, dude. This is enough's enough.
I did create a Patreon, so if you want to go check that out, you can. And yeah, see you within hopefully less than a month.
That was sick.
That was a lot of research, guys. I didn't mean to make it, you know, over a month long without a video, but yeah.
Thank you, Frodo Dabbins. He puts in so much work into his videos. It's crazy, man.